same thing happened. Tickle me. Everybody had to have a tickle me Elmo, and people killed each other over having that doll because it was so important for their children to have that. The significance was made and established from the outside. The significance was established by the people, by the media. In this setting, Jesus' significance has been established by those who saw what happened in the synagogue. His significance has been established by what they saw him do. And now, everybody is coming to get some. Everybody is coming to the house to be healed, to have Jesus do something to them. They want to be passive participants in a miracle. Jesus spends the entire rest of the evening, we are told. The whole city was gathered around the door, and he cured many who were sick with various diseases, and he cast out many demons. And he would not permit the demons to speak because they knew him. Now, remember last week, the unclean spirit identified him, and he silenced the unclean spirit. And a few of you came to me and said, what was that all about? Why would Jesus silence the unclean spirit? How come Jesus doesn't want everybody to know who he is? This is called, in theological talk, the messianic secret. Only you and I are in on the secret. Nobody else in the story knows the secret, just us. And Mark is very, very deliberate that no one is to know Jesus' identity. Jesus does not advertise it. He's not putting on the sandwich board, I am the Messiah. I am the Holy One of God. He is not. He is about trying to get people to respond to God. He is trying to get people to connect with God. He sees himself as the proclaimer of God's good news and the bringing of people to God, to respond to God. So when he silences the demons, they are the ones, remember, who know who he is. They are the ones who say his name. And he keeps them quiet. He does not allow them. In the morning, in the wee hours of the morning, my favorite time of day, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, while it was still very dark, we say in Spanish, the madrugada, he got up and he went out to a deserted place. And there he prayed. And Simon and his companions hunted for him. Well, you know, they were having a sleepover. And Simon and Andrew and James and John all wake up in the morning and Jesus is gone. Now, I don't think he had a post-it note saying, you know, come and look for me in the forest. Jesus is probably spent. Jesus is exhausted from having all these people come to him and want a piece of him, to pull energy from him, to take from him, not to give anything back. And he goes out to the forest. And in my movie, this Jesus is talking to God, having a conversation with God, conversing with God, saying, did I make a mistake? Did I do something wrong? I need to be able to tell them what you and I are about. I need to be able to give them the message of the good news, but all they want is for me to fix them. I imagine Simon and James and John and Andrew walking through the streets going, excuse me, have you seen that guy who kind of medium height, long hair, beard, sandals? Seen that guy? You know, you saw him, maybe you saw him in the synagogue yesterday. Have you seen him? And they're going, oh, you mean the guy who cast that unclean spirit out of the guy and left him on the floor? Yeah, I saw him. He went that way. the end of the gospel. Anyway, think about it. They're really worried. Where's he gone? Where's he disappeared to? Everyone is searching for you, says Simon. Everyone is looking for you. We need you back, Peter. Jesus, we need you to come back. Because there's still a line outside the house, I'm sure. Anyway, Jesus' response to Simon and Andrew and James and John is, let us go. And the Greek word is keruso. Let us go keruso. Let us go proclaim. Let us go be heralds of the good news. Let us go be heralds, messengers of God's word. And it also suggests, keruso is also the word of authority, the word of authority and power, the proclamation of authority. And Jesus says, let us go from here, right now, to every neighboring town so that I can proclaim the message there also. I think Mark's Jesus is trying very much to say that although we get caught up in the miraculous, we need to be caught up in what he is saying. We don't get caught up in just what he is doing. That's what was happening here in Capernaum. They got caught up in what he was doing, and they wanted to be fixed, but they needed to respond to what he did. We all need to be like Simon's mother-in-law, who is our example of discipleship, who in the moment, she didn't ask to be healed. And she was not healed per se. The fever was taken from her, very much like the unclean spirit was taken from the man in the synagogue. The fever was taken from her, removed from her. And her response was to get up and do exactly what she knew how to do very, very well. In the context of her life, in the context of her being, she did what she knew how to do best: to serve, to care for, to respond to the gift that had been given to her. He went throughout Galilee, proclaiming the message in their synagogues and casting out demons, inviting Simon and Andrew and James and John to accompany him, to learn what it means to make the proclamation. For us, today, in this world, we are those who have been given the gift of Jesus Christ. We have accepted the gift of Jesus Christ. We have taken him into ourselves. What has our response to that gift been? Are we expecting magic? Are we expecting miracles? Are we expecting to have some incredible thing happen to us? Or will we take on faith that every moment we spend in learning how to love like Jesus Christ, in learning how to value human beings like Jesus Christ, we will be rewarded and we will be fixed in a way that we never thought possible. Think about what your response is. Pretend you're the mother-in-law.